So the coaches spoke today. After further time, I found some even more stuff to talk about the latest game and the game coming up, things of that nature. So without further ado, let's just fly out into it. So first and foremost, I have a question. Was the field really that much of a problem? I absolutely did see Jordan Love slipping. I did see Saquon slip on that very first play, um, the first handoff, things of that nature. Um, but also, I also seen Zach Bond put on a pretty darn good performance. I'm not going to overhype it or however the case, but he broke a Philadelphia tackle record, most tackles by a Philadelphia player. Um, the guy's a beast. I mean, he's athletic, he's explosive. I did predict that he'd be a little more than just a special teams guy. I mean, he's looking like a starter. I mean, based on what we've seen in the first game, that's a respectable offense, a respectable quarterback. I'm not saying top this, top that, but he's respectable. Is he good enough to do his job? Heck yeah. Does he have receivers? Heck yeah, he does. Does he have a solid O line? Heck yeah, he does. Um, like I said, I mean, Zach Bond was able to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Jalen Carter, he had a couple pressures. You know what I'm saying? But he was getting double teamed most of the time because Jordan Davis, he's nowhere to be found. I'll get into that a little bit later, but essentially, I mean, was it that much of an issue? I think that's a valid question. Um, you know, I have an answer to that, or however, a lot of people were asking, or however, but I think that is a very good question. But uh, we also have a starting linebacker update. Vic Fangio said that Nakobe Dean is a starting linebacker. Um, Bond will get better and things of that nature. He'll improve and things like that. He said that Huff wasn't playing a lot because he's not separating himself, from the other guys, and that BG, played, a lot more snaps or whatever because he's not old yet. He still got it basically. We'll get into everything everybody said or however. But the lowest defensive graded players on the defense from PFF are Nakobe Dean with 29.3, Jalen Carter with 30. Avonte Maddox with 44.9, Bryce Huff with 47.6, and Thomas Booker, I think the fourth or the fifth, um, with 49.7. Obviously, I kind of knew Maddox, wasn't going to be, so that doesn't really surprise me or however. Booker, kind of same thing, he was just getting better. He surprisingly made the team to begin with, but so again, not really surprising. But Bryce Huff and Jalen Carter, I mean, that's shocking. I mean, Jalen Carter, I mean, yeah, sure, I know he's getting double teamed most of the game, but I thought since he had a couple pressures, they'd, respect him for that at the very least. But um, Jalen was better versus the blitz, things of that nature. I really think that with him learning the offense and having all those new responsibilities, calling protections, which again I think he did a pretty good job with. I think that there needs to be more motion to add more randomness and more unpredictableness and things of that nature. I really liked seeing AJ Brown in the slot. Um, you know what I'm saying? With motion, he was 15 for 21, 212 yards with two touchdowns. Without, he was 5 for 13 for 66 yards and two interceptions. Definitely need motion, at least starting out, or however the case may be. I mean, 49ers use it on almost every play. Um, Kansas City uses it almost every play. The Bills use it almost every play. I'm not when I say almost every play, I mean like 80, 90%. There's still 20%. You still be able to pull up videos or however where they're not using it. I'm not saying 100%. I'm saying most of the time. Almost every time. So, but yeah, I think that's a really big necessity offensively, but definitely think that'll clean up versus Atlanta. Vic Fangio, first guy of press conference wise, he said that Bond will get better. Like I said, he said the pass rush wasn't good enough. Um, you know what I'm saying? That the field had something to do with it, and that it can get better and things of that nature. Um, he said that the pass defense or however was leaky, things of that nature. I mean, I'm pretty sure they gave up like 200 and something rushing yards or however 100 and something rushing yards or however the case. Just getting ran through. I mean, the run defense was looking just like at the end of last year. I don't know if Jordan Davis is already burnt out. I don't know. I mean, he has my support. I'm trying, but you got to show me something. Um, but next up, Even when Devin White is healthy, Vic Fangio said that Bond's the starter. He won the job. You know what I'm saying? So, he said that Brendan Graham is still playing good, and that he expects Kirk Cousins because he's healthy, and that if not, they wouldn't play him. So I mean, it doesn't really look like he's given his opinion or however. It just looks like he's just saying whatever, however the case, so it doesn't like overhype the matchup or however. You guys know what I'm trying to say, but um, dang, I think it's out of order. Next up, he also said a lot of interesting things. He said that you know, DeJean, he has missed obviously the entire training camp. That he just needs time, based on the sounds of it. He said that some of the missed tackles, in general, or however, back to the run defense, or however, was because of the leaky run defense, letting good running backs, or however, into the open field, and you can't let people get into open field, is what Vic Fangio was saying. Absolutely agree. So some of those were on the D line. Like the one with Josh Jacobs, or however, that was on the D line. Sheet Gardner Johnson shouldn't even had to make that play. That was on the D line, straight up on the D line, or the linebackers. What about Nakobe Dean? You know what I'm saying? What about Zach Bond? What about those guys? It should have been on them. It's the D line or however. If they don't get them, then the linebackers and then the secondary corners and then the safeties or however in the far back. At least that's what I was taught in high school. The basic principles. Um, need more defense and not defense. Need more discipline or however, not to be so wild or however, and so overly aggressive or however. There's always too much of a good thing. Absolutely agree with that. Kellen Moore, he said a lot of interesting things. He said that there's plenty to clean up. Obviously, the turnovers, things of that nature. He said that Jalen needs more reps. It's his first game, and that he said the interceptions are outliers and things of that nature just because of those things. Um, that he tried to take advantage of the field condition or however, like oh, in this play, this guy might slip or however. So he tried as much as he could. Obviously he didn't make it about it every single play, but when he could or however the case. But he said that he's urging communication or however and advantageousness and adjustments or however. You know what I'm saying? So they'll always be at the best possible chances to score, however the case may be. And if they see something, then they'll change it or however. And he said that pre-snap communication and motion is very important, and that he bases it on situational matchups. You know what I'm saying? So basically, it's not going to be, oh yeah, we're going to do motion against this team and motion not against that team or however, be against player for player, however the case, based on how it sounded to me. Um, he said that he loves Johnny Wilson's blocking ability. I completely forgot to mention that. I was so worried about how Jalen Hurts would do in the defense. You see, that's why I let going over it. You know what I'm saying? So I think on that part, he definitely earned himself a role. He was blocking good out there. In the red zone, I think he's a threat. He's a good big body, pause, no diddy. He can catch the ball. He's fast enough. He can create enough separation just with his height. Um, yeah, definitely excited to see what all he can bring to the Eagles in the future. This season included, obviously. He said that week by week adjusting the adjustments. He does it by looking at trends or however, like, oh, this team tends to do this 80% of the time or however, and then he has a different game plan each game. Pause, hold up, timeout, timeout. That's something. Last year the Eagles didn't know what the word meant. Different game plan instead of the same 20 freaking plays each week. And even then, 20 is a little bit of exaggeration. I only knew maybe 10, if that. So even then, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Um, Things of that nature. So, he said that like the tendency break is going to be data driven and things of that nature. Obviously, film helps, but in some aspects, he wants to trust the numbers or however the case may be. So hopefully, he doesn't rely too much on it or however. Hopefully, he relies on film. You know, a good percentage of the time or however the case may be. But he did say that the brotherly shove was affected by footing. But it's still in the game plan and all that good stuff. That obviously that they still had to play on the same field and whatnot or however, but they still tried it or however. But he says that the Falcons D line was good at times, definitely a challenge. I just think he said that to be humble, so it didn't seem like, oh, we're gonna blow him out. Um, Again, next up, Jalen Hurts. He said a lot of interesting things. He took it first and foremost. People were questioning his accountability and things of that nature. He took accountability for the turnovers. He said, I put us in a bad spot. I could have done this better. You know what I'm saying? It's my fault, basically. That's what I got out of it. It didn't seem like, oh, it's my fault, like you know how parents and whatnot or however, like, oh, apologize to him or however, and the kid's like, I'm sorry. Like, no, it didn't sound like that. He said, I could have put us in a better spot. I'm sorry I put us in a bad spot. You know, keep pushing basically. That's what I got from it. And then, whenever instead of saying I made good plays, you know what I'm saying, he said we made good plays. The O line, you blocked for him so you can make those runs. You know what I'm saying, decoys or however the case would be, so other people get open or however the case. For crucial first downs or whatever the case may be, he said we instead of I. So definitely humble, definitely accountable, saying I put us in a bad spot. I got to do better. That's what he said. So that's accountability. So that shuts down any accountability questions or have he took the accountability for it. He didn't say, oh, but they, my worthless head coach Nick Sarafrod, he didn't let me play any preseason games. Oh, we only knew 10 plays last year, being in a sophisticated offense. Wholly different. He said it's my bad. That's what I heard. Um, he said that he's going to get in rhythm with Kellen Moore and things of that nature. Um, I mean, that's really all I think it needs is just to get in rhythm, and hopefully they have good chemistry. I mean, we'll figure it out or however. But yeah, he said that he also said that because of their work ethic and their results and their attention to detail and all that, AJ and Smitty are the best wide receiver like group core whatever in the NFL or however. The way the guy framed it sounded crazy, or like not crazy but weird because of the accent or however, so he like changed some of the words it sounded like or however. But yeah, he said in the NFL, so yeah, he believes he has the best wide receivers in the NFL collectively as a group, I guess. He compliments the defense. They had his back, had my back, quote unquote. Um, he also speaks on the field conditions, saying that you seen how everyone was slipping and whatnot. It was rough to get tractions, but they played on it too. So, but he was just glad to get the win, things of that nature. He said that obviously, we got to work on some things. It's a work in progress, but he said most importantly about what he said. Second most importantly, behind the taking accountability. Second most important. He also said that he knows the notion about the blitz. He said, bring it. We'll respond. Heck yeah! I mean, he did. I mean, he was what 6 to 7 from the blitz throughout the game. I mean, absolutely. I mean, he looked better. You know what I'm saying? And in terms of passing, yeah, I think that's just rust and needing to get in rhythm. My final thoughts, just like I was literally just saying, I think Jalen needs to get in rhythm, and him and Kellen Moore, they need to develop that chemistry and that rhythm together and whatnot. Just like Jalen said, I think he said that perfectly. Um, versus Atlanta, we'll see if we have a pass rush or not. If we actually desperately need another pass rusher or not. It's Lincoln Financial Field. Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie. That they take care of the field. They don't want their people to get injured or have by playing on a poverty field. They're not Washington or Brazil or whatever. They actually want their players on good fields. Um, so yeah, I mean it's going to be in Philly or however the case. So we'll see how good the pass rush is then. Um, there's not going to be an excuse or however the case may be, and I think Kellen Moore is actually going to adjust to offenses and things of that nature. I think that's really important. I think versus Atlanta, who Jalen Hurts himself, I can't explain anyone else if there's a drop or however the case or whatever, or if they fumble it or whatever. But on Jalen Hurts, I don't think he himself will have any turnovers. I don't think he'll throw a pick or have any bad fumbles that are lost or however the case may be. I'm pretty sure they're working tirelessly on it or however the case. To make sure it doesn't happen again. I know it's completely different than actually in a game. Completely recognize and understand that. Them not playing in preseason and them, playing in game one a little rusty completely proves that. More than fair to say. But I think, Jalen Carter needs some help out there. Report Huff, Jordan Davis is missing. You know what I'm saying? The run defense couldn't stop a statue. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if Atlanta, the field conditions are valid or an excuse. That's my honest opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like it's valid. People were slipping. I seen Saquon slip. I'm not gonna say it is an excuse. I'm not saying that. I'm asking. The next game will prove it. If Jordan Davis cannot bring help to him, if Milton Williams, if the other if the other 6 of the front 7, you know what I'm saying, can't help him, and he's still getting double and triple teamed, pause, no diddy, then yeah, it's definitely Trey Hendrickson or Khalil Mack's season. How he's gonna have to make a pass, not a pass. He's gonna have to make a move for a pass rusher. I'm sorry to tell you, he's gonna have to. To close out the video, on a good note, or however the case, Cheesy Gardner Johnson, he was calling out fake fans and haters and whatnot. He was saying that his hand is fine and whatnot, and how playing defensive back is the hardest position in the league and whatnot. And how he said he played fine and the defense played fine, just the little things to iron out. Holding them to 2 field goals, couldn't do that last year. Couldn't even do that with the Washington Commanders. And you're doing it with the 4th best team in the NFC. You got the night, regardless of the order, you can have the pick, pack, patty, whack, and barbershop debate or however, but in the NFC total, the 4 best teams, regardless of order, is the Philadelphia Eagles, again, not in any particular order, 49ers, the Green Bay Packers, and the Cowboys. Regular season, the Cowboys are MVPs. You got to give them that. They are 12-win season, but in the playoffs, they're worthless. Okay, that's fair. But in the regular seasons, as of right now, there's still 16 games to go. And the NFC total, probably the 3rd or 4th best team, or however the case, depending on when Jordan Love gets back, if it's 3 weeks or if it's 6 weeks, or however the case may be. But as of right now, them not having playing to get a week 2, have you seen them play week 2? I haven't. As of right now, they've only lost 1 game. Undefeated seasons are rare. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I think he was completely valid for that. I think, people already hating on him. I mean, it's literally 1 game. And that's on the D-line, like I said. The 1 game, the 1 tackle everyone's crying about or however, or you should have made it on the running back. No, that's on the D-line. He was nice enough not even to say that. He was professional about it. And he said, I made the mistake. However, yeah, sure, we'll clean that up. But we played good, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, they played good. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he was making good tackles. Yeah, but guess what? The D-line has to show up. Where's Huff at? You're not going to put the blame on him? He could have done it. Huff could have done it. That's facts. Jalen Carter, if he would have had some help, he could have done it. He could have had a 1v1 and could have done it. Jordan Davis, where was he at? Where's the blame on him? I get it. Last year, we gave up 350 passing yards a game. I get it. But guess what? Against Jordan Love, a respectable, not going to say top 10. Not going to say that. But against a respectable quarterback, he had less than 200 yards. He had like 180 something, 190 something like that. I know for sure is less than 200. I know that for sure. But yeah, completely valid. If you guys haven't seen it or however, I'll put it in the little conclusion part at the end or however. But yeah, he had every right to do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he came back or however. He loves Philly and all that. Said his hand is fine. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously he's just responding to the comments. I mean, you should have right to stand up to yourself, regardless if you're famous or not. So I mean, heck yeah, CJ. If by whatever chance you see this, you're in the right. Some Eagles fans are stupid, expect people to make every single tackle. You know what I'm saying? There's such thing as other good players. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one good player in the league. Oh yeah, you just stop everybody. No. There's other good people. I understand that. So CJ, if you're watching, you're good. True Eagles fans, they know, you know what I'm saying, that you played good out there. It was the first game of the season. Y'all didn't know what scheme they were going to run, if they're going to change plays or have. Y'all played pretty freaking good. Y'all got the dub. Y'all kept it. Y'all, as a team, kept it to 2 field goals. Kept Jalen in it. Y'all did it as a team. You made some tackles. You were there on almost every single tackle. I know he's probably not going to watch it or have, but if you do watch it, you were there on almost every tackle. The 2 or 1 or whatever it was, the couple that you missed, that's the D-line's fault. If the D-line lets 100 and something yards go because they can't stop a statue, I mean, that's not the secondary's fault. Now, you can't let people get into the open field. Who's supposed to stop them? You know, the D-line. Bryce Huff, etc. Just saying. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I'll put the CJ playing video or however, right before my little intro or however, my outro, I mean. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll try to have this out probably by 3 or 4 p.m. on September 12th. I'll probably be done editing about midnight on the 11th. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, just really love my Philadelphia Eagles. I want us to win Super Bowls. You know, I'm tired of the excuses and, oh, we're so close. And all the times we get so close, we lose. Losing, whether it be in the NFC Championship, whether it be the Super Bowl. We need Super Bowl wins. That's what we need. How do you get that? A balanced roster. Follow KC steps. Literally, take notes from what they're doing. Take notes from what Belichick did organizationally. Just saying. If you repeat, the past, it's likely to repeat itself. So repeat what KC is doing. Repeat what the Patriots did. You know what I'm saying? The early 2000s, regardless if they're doing it now or not or however. But yeah, like I said, that'll do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless. Philly out. Peace.